So I recently went about finishing chapter 15 after a couple weeks now. I've been very, very lazy, but as of yesterday, I went ahead. Oh, oh! I'm done with my grind. Thank you, boys. Let's go. Oh my God, James, you came at the best time possible. Look what's on my screen as of right now. Let's go. Ahead and finished it. Luckily, I got the not New Orleans. I keep saying New Orleans. Houston 2 drop. So finished that. Took me, I don't know how many clears, 60, 70 clears, I think, a while, but eventually got it. And then I went ahead and knocked out 15-3. Try to get the 3-star with the lethal as well, too. Did it. It was quite annoying. If you guys want to see the fleet I ran. It's basically my other fleet. Oh, crap. I ran 2 healers. Actually, I'll just post the picture on you from the screen for you guys on what I used. But essentially, I knocked out chapter 15, and now we're gonna talk about the video. We'll make a video talking about if this place is actually worth farming for you guys, because some of you guys want to push towards chapter 15, and it is a nice goal to work towards, but some of you guys may not think it's worth it. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it as of today. So first thing is first, the big ticket item from this grind is going to be not New Orleans, Houston 2. All right, so Houston 2. Now, is this ship actually worth going for, actually worth farming? For the most part, probably not. I'm going to say it right now. She's about as good as a SSR you get from an event. I will say that. The reason why is because most of her best buff is the Space City Strike. And this basically buffs up your Eagle Union AA by up to 24%. It's 8% max, and there's 3 stacks, so 24%. Now, the reason why this ship isn't like absolutely spectacular is because it's very, very limited. We want to look at Sila's skill right here. Sila, she gets a skill where she buffs. Find it. I think it was this skill right here. Increases the AA by 25% for your vanguards with lower stat than this ship's AA. So as long as Sila has more AA than that ship, they're going to get 25% buff. Less restrictive, no factions, so much, much better that way. Whereas Houston 2, her buff is primarily only for Eagle Union. So unless you play only Eagle Union, then getting a Houston 2 is actually not that beneficial for the most part. Her stats are kind of lacking as well too. Nowadays, I'm not a big fan of gunboats because torpedoes are just much better for wave clearing. So he has increased 12% firepower and anti-air. So that's pretty much it. Low firepower to begin with. That's all there is to it, right? The second skill here is Fortitude in Chaos. Once per battle, when the ship falls below 15% as a result of damage taken, it heals 2% over 3 seconds, so 6%. And then she gets an additional 15% once this is maxed out. Add on top of that, so 21% HP self-recovery. That's actually not that bad, but it is a self-sufficient skill, so it's not like beneficial to like any other members of the fleet. But 21% HP, the self-heal is actually not that bad. The only issue is that you get a speed decrease while this is happening. So if there's like a wave of torpedoes coming at you, that's going to be very difficult to dodge if you're playing on manual. But this is self-sufficient though, and then the all-out assault right here. So for the most part, there's no real reason to go for this ship unless you want for collection or you just want her because she's cool looking. If you play Eagle Union, it is nice to have, but there are just a lot of options nowadays. She's a Cleveland class. There's so many anti-air Cleveland classes in the game or Eagle Union. They could benefit from this skill, but it's just you have to go a while to get this drop. Because you got to prepare your fleet. You have to make sure you're ready to do chapter 15 because it is very fleet oriented to have specific ships in your team compositions to go for it. And overall, it's just a nightmare of a grind if you guys aren't prepared for it by all means. So yeah, but it is nice that you get gems out of it because once again, if you guys 3-starter maps, you get gems out of it, so it's pretty cool. But again, it's very high in restrictions on what you can bring. Level 130 ships are no joke. And having ships built around anti-air, some of you guys may be ready, but some of you guys may not. So it's kind of like, yeah. So similar to chapter 14 and 13, This time around, it's just there to farm with, nothing like super drastic or whatever. Still to this very day, the best map to farm for is going to be Chapter 12, 12-1 for cog ships, and 12-4 for money for the most part. Unless you guys are getting max ships and you guys have nothing to do with it, 13-1 is good for cog ships and 13-4 is for money. 14 is not there yet. 14 and 15 are basically there for you to farm after you get your drops for just commander levels. So it's not actually not that worth pushing for. But if you guys have goals to clear Chapter 15, you guys want to just have the full completion of your game, then by all means go for it. It's a fun challenge if you guys are ready for it. Not too bad. And getting that one single ship drop, again, dopamine. SSR drop, can't go wrong with it. So, thank you guys for watching as always. If you guys are pushing Chapter 15, good luck. I have a guide out there already for that content. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video as always.